Well, Keenan, according to several residents now, they tell us this fire behind me has been burning for several hours. And when you hear the crackle of wood, which I can hear right now, that really makes sense. Take a look at this. We are now on the other side of the building. Now at 5 o'clock, we were at the front portion of the Westwood Village apartments. We are now all the way on the other side of the building. Take a look at these flames, these hot spots that crews hours later are still fighting with. And it's a pretty large apartment building, and several of these complexes are actually connected, adding to the anxiety from some residents that I just spoke to. They are grateful, though, Keenan and Alicia, that thankfully the wind is pretty calm today, because this could be much worse. And I'm still hearing, I don't know if you can hear it back there, the crackling of that wood as these embers fall, and the thick smoke, because there's not a lot of wind right now. That smoke is kind of sitting heavy in the air. I talked to one man who said he woke up to the smell and the feel of smoke. He could even feel it coming in through his window because it's kind of heavy and it sits there and it doesn't really move much. This apartment complex is quite large. This is on the totally other side of the building, which gives you some sense of just how large this fire is. Crews have been here now since we've arrived. We got here about an hour and 20 minutes ago, but neighbors tell us they've been at this for several hours. Take a listen to what one woman woke up to.
I was scared. I didn't even want to go back to sleep when I saw that. I'm like, okay, so it's been going on for this long. Like, is it going to spread more? Is it going to spread to the back? Like, so I came up here just to make sure everything was okay.
And of course, the fire spreading further, that is the chief concern amongst a lot of neighbors that I spoke to this morning. Thankfully, since we've arrived here, we have not seen that. But you can see the flames still burning heavy behind me. I'm told by neighbors there's about 36 units in this building alone. They say they believe, witnesses tell us, that everyone was able to make it out safely, but we are still waiting on official confirmation from fire crews here. We're going to be speaking with them shortly. We'll have another live report for you coming up in the next 30 minutes. I'm Jen Shantz reporting live this morning in Westland.
All right, Jen, before you go, you mentioned that this is a really large apartment complex. Are there other buildings where residents are still asleep or still inside, or have they evacuated that whole complex? Can you sort of walk us through that?
Yeah, so from what I can tell, Keenan, most of the people nearby, and this is a pretty large complex. I mean, you can see behind me, there's a lot of buildings here. From the people who are close by, everyone's outside kind of watching. But given how large this complex is, Keenan, I have walked by buildings where you can still see lights on. So not everyone has been forced to evacuate. And I did ask neighbors that if they were forced to evacuate, they say no. So feasibly, there are still possibly people sleeping through this given the size of this complex.